Annabella asks, hey Tim, as someone who wants to get into composition and improv but isn't sure where to start, do you have any tips? Thinking specifically for ambient. So sort of Breath of the Wild style for this one. Well, it depends on your starting point. Like Breath of the Wild does use a few tricks, so to say, or motifs to make it sound like it does. Breath of the Wild, for example, if you're playing in the key of C major, just a very standard key, what Breath of the Wild loves to do is to stack fourths on that. So let's say you have a chord progression in C. Let's say it's 1, 4, 5, 1. So super easy. So that's C, F, G, and back to C. So if you want to Breath of the Wild that up, then you should definitely not be playing the chords just like I did, just the standard chord. You could start thinking more in shapes. So, for example, Breath of the Wild loves to play with the shape of stacked fourths. So, for example, the C chord, you can take the C chord. So you take the C on the top of the chord and then use stack a fourth on the bottom of that and a fourth on the bottom of that. So you get this. Immediately sounds a little bit Breath of the Wild like, right? So then you get something like this. Just doing something weird. So in this case, if you want to keep stacking the fourths, you have to either jump a lot. You know, you can do that, but usually you want to keep the chords quite close together. So stacking the fourths in this way gives you a free, nice chords, because what you can do is you can just walk the shape, the entire shape up for the F chord, and then walk it up again for the G chord. If you want to be spicy, you can then walk it up again for the C chord, but then you get something like that. So just try playing with those fourth shapes. Then you have the kind of weird Breath of the Wild sound. You can even stack fourths in both hands, but then you get into territory that's interesting, where you're just following your ears all the way, so without much in the way of music theory. Hey, Mandelion, thanks for the super chat. See you later. Have a good day. So, this one, for example. So we now have from the C we started with, we stack fourth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what are we gonna do with this? Yeah, you can just walk up. You get the kind of empty, like Dennis says, the kind of empty, airy sound, especially up high. This is literally a chord from Breath of the Wild, by the way. You can try moving these fourths, these shapes, independently of one another. Instant Divine Beast music right there. So that's the dirty trick of Breath of the Wild's ambient music. The dirty little trick is go stack some fourths. And then, you know, be inspired by those fourths and then do something different with them. For example, I have no idea what I'm doing, like from a musical theory standpoint, but it sounds really nice. So that would be my recommendation. Stack those fourths. Yeah, and like Dennis says, which is an interesting observation, it does sound kind of empty. Probably because it doesn't, like in Dutch, you can say what gender a chord has, and the gender is major, minor, or sustained. But you can't really tell with these kind of sounds if it's major, minor, or whatever. It's like super open, and it's kind of floaty. Doesn't want to resolve. Yeah. Yup. So that's an interesting little thing. I'm kind of surprised how well it worked here, because I knew that, and I used a lot of my own improvisations and stuff, but now I was just stacking fourths and it already worked without any nonsense.